up, guys? Jordan Nothing Gilbert here, and today I'm going to talk about how to take advantage of man down situations from a defense perspective. So whether it's a 5 versus 4 for you or a 4 versus 3 for you, I want to show you guys a concept that I like to do late round to take advantage of these numbers. So I'm here on the map train, and I think it's a great example to show you guys what happens in man down situations. So I'm going to set up a scenario for us right now. So let's say I set my opera mid in the beginning of the round, and he comes here and picks somebody somewhere from team mid, maybe the guy running up ladder, and now it's a 5-on-4, but obviously you guys couldn't take advantage because you're just running a default. So you fall back, it's a 5 versus 4, you're still holding. What do we do next? So one thing I want to make you guys think of before we get into it is how the CTs are going to set up. It's very common for CTs to have one person watching each thing, right? You have one guy watching ladder, one guy watching mid from a number of spots, one guy watching Ivy, and then 2 inner, right? A common setup when people get only 4 alive is they kind of slide back. So if they don't have ground, that's obviously the first thing you need to consider. Like if they have team mid or if they have ladder, that changes things a little bit. But the first thing you need to consider is what do we have control of and what do we not have control of. If you have a moderate map control, which is team mid control over here at Ivy, maybe ladder control or above ladder, at least you know there might be one at ladder, might be one Ivy, and there's one inner. A common setup that I would guess, if I just opt a guy outside, would be that they're going to have one guy inner, maybe playing back pop or passive. They're going to have one guy Z, who's either watching mid or ladder, and they're going to have one guy who's either close ladder or close to mid. He might be like sandwich here or something, right? And then one guy watching Ivy. That's just a guess, right? These guys can be in a number of positions, but I think one thing that I can consistently rely on is they're probably not going to have 2 guys in a man down situation, and if they do, that actually helps my concept even more because my concept is all about faking. So the reason a fake is so powerful late round is because even the lightest fake with moderate map control, and that's the key aspect, map control, right? If they could be pushed up inner or pushed up Ivy, then the strat doesn't work. So you want moderate map control, and then a slight fake with the other side ready to hit is the key. So I'm going to show you guys an example. So this case, I'm going to say we're going to fake inner and we're going to go outside. So what you're really saying when we're going to fake inner and go back outside is you're going to be rotating and manipulating the Z player or the secondary player on this bomb site. So really all it takes is maybe 2 guys out of your 5, and what you want to do is make sure the fake isn't too obvious. So an obvious fake would be like one guy throws a smoke and then one flash, and then one flash like down lower ramp, and then you're just like running away right away, right? That might not make the inner guy call much. So what you want to make sure that happens is that 2 guys are for sure throwing smokes at the same time, and you're throwing a number of Molotovs. You know, you can get creative. You could throw in back bomb. You could throw in, and these aren't perfect. I'm just saying as an example. You could throw different Molotovs, but the key is throwing 2 sets of nades from 2 players in tandem. So now I'm going to remind you guys, what was the first protocol? Make sure whatever site we fake, the other site is ready to go. So the whole concept here is that for this man-up situation, even if the fake doesn't work in an extravagant way, meaning we don't just easily take the A bomb site after faking B, the whole point is to take advantage of timing so that when you come outside, you can gain space on the defense in a very fast pace. So what's going to happen is right before the A hit happens, you want at least 2 guys mid and maybe 1 ladder or 1 Ivy. I would say ladder's better because that way you're not going to get shot in the side from mid. So you have this guy maybe waiting above ladder so he doesn't get spotted too early in case there is a guy in ladder. Have 2 guys mid and then have these 2 guys fake inner. This is going to work great because what's going to happen, even with these smokes, there's no way with 2 sets of smokes and nades, you're not going to want a Molotov bomb train, but there's no way with 2 sets of nades that the Z player who's spotting here isn't going to at least come and help for a minute because he's like, okay, well, if they're going outside, my 2 outside guys are probably going to say something. But the key here is that because you're doing the fake so precisely timed, even if they say something, you're going to be able to trade positively on this guy. The key is positively, meaning he only goes 1 for 1, and you're able to overwhelm them with numbers. So what you want to have happen is these guys waiting in team mid. One guy, like I said, ladder Ivy. In my case, I think ladder's better. The ladder guy's not down ladder unless he was from the beginning of the round, all right? Don't go down ladder by yourself in this case unless you already had it. These 2 guys are ready, and once they throw the set of smokes, give him a couple seconds to leave. Visualize this guy saying, okay, he's sitting here, he hears his inner player, 2 smokes down lower, molly inner, and now this guy leaves. So right when they throw the smokes, don't just charge out T mid. Let it marinate a little. Okay, he moves. So after 2 or 3 seconds of those smokes being thrown down lower, now what you guys want to do is walk out mid, and only upon contact you really want to explode. Now, if you get this far and then where you're not inner, then it gets stale. So there's a point right here where you don't want to rush, but after about 5 seconds, if you really don't find anyone, that's where you need to progress to bomb train, and this is where a lot of mistakes can be made. The final step of this play, guys, is 1, make sure your ladder guy comes down after you come out T mid so that you could trade, and then 2, don't bother smoking off the extremities like this unless there's an opera that's like picking you from Ivy. If you think the time is low and the guy might have trouble planting, just simply smoke out the bomb planter, let him plant, and then cover the obvious peaks for him while he might be planting. And I think that's a great way to approach 5v4, guys. You're taking advantage of the timing of this guy leaving, and even though it's not a perfect fake, even though you're not fully faking them out, you're giving yourself just enough time because this guy's going to leave, and this concept can be applied to a lot of maps. You want to throw heavy numbers towards one side, but fake with 2 guys towards the other, and even if the fake doesn't fully work, use those 3 guys to scale, and the key, guys, is scaling with speed. If you just walk out and then you keep walking, let's call a stale time 5 seconds. If you don't spot anyone within 5 seconds, start progressing, guys, and I think that's a good rule of thumb for you to actually take advantage of the fake. I hope you learn from this, apply it whether in your solo queue or a team, and really take your game to the next level, guys.